Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I'm here today to tell you about the books that are on my radar for the month of October. I have more here than what I will probably read. I'm trying to leave a little room for wiggle room because there's different things happening in October, right? We've got Victober, it's fall, so I want some cozy fall reads and some spooky fall reads. So I have a little bit of a mishmash for my TBR today, and I'm gonna tell you about them now. First off, as usual, I'm gonna tell you about my two choices for my Goodreads read-along group, Books and Jams Read-Along. The link is in the description below if you're looking to read with a group of people. I set the group up so that you don't have to read by a certain date. It's just kind of read at your own pace, hop into the discussions when you get to those points and share your thoughts. I really love hearing people's thoughts about the same books that I'm reading within a month, so I'm really excited about reading with you guys again this month. For October this year, I chose two thrillers. So I have The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware, which I believe is about a young woman who inherits an old mansion or something, but somehow she's not really related, so she shouldn't have inherited it. But I love a good old building, like an old home, gothic-y kind of a feel, and I've heard people really like Ruth Ware's more newer books. I'm a little nervous about Ruth Ware. I did not love Woman in Cabin 10, but I'm eager to give her another chance, so I'm excited to read this one. And the second choice is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, and this is a real little book. This is one that I picked up because April from Getting Hygge With It really loves it. But in this one, we have a woman who wakes up in the hospital. I don't know if she's in a coma or something, where she's cognizant of what's going on around her but can't communicate. So she is in the hospital. Her husband and sister are there visiting her, and somehow there's a mystery about what happened to her. Are the husband and sister responsible, one or the other of them, for what happened to her? Little bit of an unreliable narrator, but I've heard that it's pretty twisty and turny, and I'm really excited to read this. So if you're interested in reading either of these, join me in my Goodreads group. I also may pick up another thriller or two. I did a couple, like 2 months ago. My shelf spotlight was about a bunch of thrillers on my shelves. And so I'm moving all of those books out into the other room so that they're visible and in front of me all month long. And I may end up picking another one of them or two of them up. We shall see. Then it's also Victober in October. And I, every year, plan on participating in Victober. And every year, I don't. So I'm determined this year, and in order to complete that mission of participating, I've scheduled myself a buddy read. So I'm going to be reading Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. This is the shortest Victorian book I think that I have on my shelves. And I'm buddy reading this with Emily from Novelle Novels and Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventure. I will link both of them down below. Love these ladies. I've buddy read with both of them before, not together, but both of them I've buddy read with and enjoyed it thoroughly. Love them so much. So I'm really excited to read this one with those ladies. I've read other books by the Bronte sisters, but never anything by Anne. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this is like a nanny and a well-educated daughter of a penniless clergyman. Agnes Grey is treated like a child by her family. She sets out to prove herself by seeking employment as a governess. Soon, her idealistic notions regarding the education and care of her wards are dashed as she battles to control the wild Bloomfield children in her first situation, and is then held in low regard by the superior Murray household. So I think it's drawn on some of Anne's own experiences, but her job as a governess kind of relates to my job as a nanny. So that might be a little bit fun to read. And I'm really looking forward to buddy reading this with Emily and Berna. I do have two other books on my classics that I wanted to read this year, and both of them qualify for Victorian classics. So I have Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. Now, I absolutely love North and South. Look how big this is. However, it's really only 600 something pages. So it looks a lot bigger than it really is. And I've always been a little hesitant about this one because I believe Elizabeth Gaskell passed away before she finished this one, which always leaves me like, what? I need closure. Like if my phone dies before I finish a phone call with my mom, I'll call her back when I charge my phone just to say goodbye. Even if we're done with our conversation, I need the closure. So I'm a little nervous still about this. I've been told that it's going to be okay and I can still read this and be all right with it. We'll see. And then the final one, which just feels more fall-ish to me as well, is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I've heard such good things about this one. In love with the beautiful heiress Laura Fairley, the impoverished art teacher Walter Hartwright finds his romantic desires thwarted by her previous engagement to Sir Percival Glyde. But all is not as it seems with Sir Percival, as becomes clear when he arrives with his eccentric friend Count Fosco. The mystery and intrigue are further deepened by the ghostly appearances of the woman in white, apparently harboring a secret that concerns Sir Percival's past. Ooh, so a little bit of a ghost-ish type story. Kind of fun. Perfect for October. Looking forward to this one. Sorry, by the way, for my attire and my post-workout hair. I just wanted to film this at night and I just got done doing my workout. So I'm still in my workout clothes and need to go have a shower, but whatever, we're doing this first. I decided in the middle of September that I'm gonna participate in the Fall Into Reading Readathon, which lasts for 3 months, September, October, November. It's hosted by 4 lovely BookTube ladies, Tia and All the Books, Kelly from the Cozy Reader Kelly, Angie from Literary Labors, and Rainey from Rainy Day Reads. And I love all 4 of those ladies, and they created this board, kind of like a bingo board that I'm using on Instagram. So if you follow me over there, you'll have seen my progress. But I decided to see how many of my September books would fit into the boards. They have one that's kind of a smaller one and then a bigger one. I almost filled the smaller board with just my September reads. So I'm like, I might as well go for it. So I did pick out a handful of books that do fit some of those prompts. So I have a sci-fi book, The Space Between Worlds, which is one of my more recent book of the month options. I don't have very many sci-fi on my shelves. Tia reminded me that I hauled this from book of the month, so thanks Tia for that reminder. Something paranormal or supernatural, I have The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I believe this has something ghostly in it. I might be wrong about that. I do really want to read this. And some of those other thrillers that I have might have some kind of supernatural aspect to them as well. So if this one doesn't fit, then maybe one of those will. A book with leaves on the cover. This is called Bird in Hand by Christina Baker Klein. So I've read Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein, and I really liked that one. So I grabbed this. I don't usually pick up books that are in such kind of ratty condition, but I don't know if I got it from a little free library or what, but this is a contemporary about this woman who gets in a car accident. When she calls her husband from the police station, kind of reveals some cracks in their marriage. But it does look like a very fall-ish kind of book. It might even take place in the fall, which is another prompt on the board that I don't know how I'm going to fill. But at least it has the leaves on the cover, and they're fall leaves. So what better time to read that? And I don't really have any contemporaries on here, so that might be good. A sequel, I grabbed The Penderwicks at Last, which is the final book in the Penderwicks series that I need to read. This is book 5, and I love this middle grade series, so it'll be nice to finish up another series and complete that prompt with a sequel. I guess I do have another contemporary, The Bookshop on the Corner. This can work for a standalone. I'm not sure if it takes place in the fall, but it might fit for that as well. This is just one of my books about books that I own that I'm really eager to read. This is also one of the only books on this TBR that are on my 2020 TBR card, and I want to make sure I'm still working on that every month, so hopefully I get to this one. Just a couple more. Oh man, I'm not going to get to all I could get to all these this month. Realistically, I read 12 to 14 books a month, so it's possible, but we'll see. A reread that I'd like to do this month is A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. I'm hoping to read this with Katie from Life Between Words. I'm not sure when we're going to get to it, but hopefully soon. So I'm throwing it on my October pile. This is a historical fiction, Christian fiction, set during the Roman Empire. This is the first in a trilogy that I absolutely love. I talked about it in my it's finally fall tag that I'd like to reread this. It's a series that I've read a couple times through and really enjoyed it. So I am hoping to pick up this first one in the series with Katie this month. And finally, I just have 2 more middle grade that are calling out to me from my middle grade shelf. So I like to keep a couple middle grade near my TBR pile so that when I need a break, maybe from a classic or from some of these thrillers, picking up a middle grade is the perfect cure or palate cleanser, I should say. The first one is The Emperor's Ostrich by Julie Berry. Now, last month I read The Lovely War by Julie Berry and absolutely enjoyed it thoroughly and loved her writing, and am very eager to try one of her middle grade books. I have 2 on my shelves. So this one just sounds like a lot of fun, a bit of a mystery, a bit of like a little bit of a fantasy, a missing cow, a disappeared emperor, and one magical journey. So I'm really excited for this one. And also Jefferson's Sons by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. This is more of a historical fiction, which I don't have tons of on this TBR, and I love historical fiction. So this one is about Thomas Jefferson's sons that he had with one of his slaves, I believe. Beverly, Harriet, Madison, and Eston are Thomas Jefferson's children by one of his slaves. Amanda from the Curly Reader just recently read this, I think just a week or so ago, was bawling at the end. She even messaged me and said, Krista, you need to read this book. So I already have it on my shelves, and so of course it's going into my pile for October. That is it, but that is quite a stack. Let me see if I can put all of these together here and get them in frame. We shall see. Dun, 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 dun. They're not all gonna fit. Yes, they are. There they go. Ah, they're falling over. So there they are. There are my possibilities for October, along with the rest of the thrillers. I'm gonna set that down. Ooh. Along with the rest of the thrillers that I'm gonna put out in the other room. I'd love to chat with you down in the comments. What's one of the books that you're most looking forward to for October? Are you going to join in for the read-along books, one or the other of them? There's no pressure to join in. If you want to skip this month, that's fine as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to most of these. Well, all of them. That's why they're on my TBR. I'm really looking forward to all of them. I've got a good mix of some older books, some newer books, different genres. I feel like I can fit any mood that I'm in with one of these books. Let's chat down in the comments below about the books you're going to read in October, about any of these books, or anything else that you want to talk about. You guys know I love chatting with you down in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye.